All right. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Just Langa show. How you guys doing? Today we are talking about relationship marketing strategies that spark your sales growth. It's our 66th episode of Just Langa, so welcome one, welcome all. I mean, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. 66. That's a good number, isn't it?
Well, if you
It's
add
a
another
good number before we
six,
go for our long break.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
if you add another six, it's not such a good number. If you know, we were all scared by that movie 666, if you know what I mean. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, today is a 66th episode. So let us know who's in the house, who's tuning in. If you're a regular popcooner, you know what to type, popcoon. And if you are a newbie, please type in noob. We welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, today, just if you want to get the best from today's session, we're going to be talking about relationship marketing strategies that spark your sales growth. Happening right here on the Just Langa show with me, Nina, and
And I'm in here and I'm excited. 66 episode, just like that. Has it
yeah.
been
You
more
know
than a
what?
year?
I have to say something. My makeup today is bad. I think I look like I died. So yes, this is the 66th episode. All I need is another six, and then I'll be the devil, I guess. But anyway, while waiting for your replies, I forgot to put on my other tab. So I'll get to your replies in a bit. But if you're new to the show, Just Long as where we interview the movers and shakers in the world to help you guys grow your authority, impact, and income as a thought leader, business influencer, and the authority in your respective industries. Now, in other words, we're
Mhm.
Popcorn. We help build Southeast Asia's business influencers and thought leaders. And if this is something that excites you, please follow us on all our social media. We've got so many things, and you're bound to learn something from there. Yeah. So coming up next week,
Exactly.
actually, I mean, there's nothing coming up next week. So just follow
Yep.
us on our social media because we're going to go on a 2 weeks break because what's going to happen is that we believe that, all work and no play makes you dull. So we're going to go take a 2 weeks break to take care of ourselves. So you should do it too, kind of thing.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, but when we come back, we've got a lot of episodes lined up for you. We've got Azlin Abdul Rahim from Marketing in Asia. That's happening on the
Mhm.
14th of October. We want to talk about what's new with him, what's new in marketing in Asia, and how you guys can get in on the action. And then on 21st, I mean, believe it or not, you've been interested in a book, right? In
Yeah.
fact,
Which one
today we're
was?
interviewing an author, but
Uh-huh.
we're not actually going to be talking about a book. But I've got you, the founding member of eCentral, and he basically runs the largest ebook portal in Southeast Asia. And basically, we're going to be talking about how to boost your credibility through ebook publishing. I mean, a lot of people think it's lame, but I don't know. We'll get to find out. Yeah. What do you think?
Mhm.
I mean.
So are we gonna talk about how to create your first ebook and all that kind of stuff?
Yep, those kind of stuff.
I want to do
Yeah,
that.
forethought leadership. Yep, I knew you'd be interested in that. So we're gonna be that's gonna be happening on the 21st of October. But before that, tonight it's all about relationship marketing strategies that spark
Yep.
your sales growth. What does it take to sell in today's world? What is relationship marketing? What is it not? And how do you bridge the gap between marketing and sales, or between online and offline? How do you carry it across to the goalpost? That's what I would ask. So what is it that you guys want to get from today's session? Let us know in the chat. Let us know, because it's not often that we get a powerhouse like tonight's guest. Okay, so what is it that you guys want to get? Let me know. I mean, what do you want to get from tonight's session? Because I know you're excited about this topic. What do you think is the
I want to
biggest
know
problem, actually?
what I really like about this guy is that he's been on LinkedIn for quite some time. It's like those pioneer guys on LinkedIn, and I would love to know his whole entire journey on LinkedIn
He's
from the
like a
day he started all the
living
way to now.
history, then, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's like a living walking legend, so we need to get into his brain. Yeah. So what do you think is the biggest problem in today's market when it comes to sales? I mean, in
When it
your
comes to
opinion.
sales, in my
Mm.
opinion, people don't ask. They depend on the marketing, and then after that, they just never ask for the sales.
Okay, well,
That's,
for
that's,
me,
that's how I
I
see
ha-
it, right?
okay, got it. Well, I did a poll today. So one of the things, what is relationship marketing not? What is, so the first one was it's not doing enough of it. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
everybody mostly answered. And then somebody said, and then I put in it's about relationship, and then I put in it's about marketing. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people kind of didn't say it was about marketing; they said it was about relationship. But then
Uh-huh.
I saw a post where they said that wait a minute, yeah, it's about building relationship, but at the end of the day, it's about asking for the order. So it's about marketing. But everybody forgets that they're being hi, all friendly, but nobody's asking for the money, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I want to find out from Brian what he thinks about it. And of course, the last
There's
answer
another
was
thing I
I
want
don't
to add
know.
to that.
Okay,
There's nothing I
what
want to
is
add to
it?
that. I think the other thing that I would love to know is when to ask, because when you start building relationship, then you'll be like, okay, is this the right time to ask, or am I being friend zoned? So that's what I want to
Yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly. So we always talk about marketing and sales kind of like Tinder these days, right? Are you being
Yeah,
like dating? Yeah, are you being friend zone? Are you being a stalker? Are you being freaky? Are you asking too early? So that's what I would like to know. So that's what's happening tonight. What are you guys interested in? Do we have anybody saying anything? Let
we
me
have
know.
Pauline in the
Hey,
house. We have Angela in the
Pauline.
house. Good to see the two of you.
Welcome. Right. Okay. So those are all the comments. We know there's a lot of lurkers. Don't worry. So if you guys are excited about tonight, you are about to get the inside scoop and so much more. If you think this is going to be useful, it's going to make a difference to somebody out there, then share this post out, share this video out, and tag your friends because it's going to make a difference to them. Let's get in and learn. Yeah, kind of thing. Also, once you're done with that, get your pen, get your paper, get your notebook because in a popcorn session, just like a session, you definitely going to be learning a lot. So if you're ready, I certainly am. All right. So, I mean, who do we have in the house? Okay.
In Malaysia, we'll call him the haram guy. That's what-
Okay. The
I'm just
haram
kidding,
guy.
guys. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Actually, you're right. I think I sent out an information saying, hey guys, popcorn is going haram for the first time. I got so many information people coming back. So basically, guys, tonight, our guest tonight, he is an award-winning author of the best-selling book. It's not about you, it's about bacon, relationship
mhm.
marketing in a social media world. And his latest book is Toilet Paper Math. I love it. He seems to have all the most amazing title that will be sensational in this part of the earth. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah, and he was also honored as one of the top marketers to follow in 2018. He is an online marketing strategist with over 40 years of marketing experience, and the owner of an award-winning internet marketing company, B2B Interactive Marketing Inc. He is also world-renowned for his LinkedIn training and innovative content marketing strategies. And in fact, I mean, get this, he is the first 1,000 people to join the social network in 2004. So he's like a living legend. Okay. So, and on top of that, okay, this guy is, I thought I was an overachiever, but I think he definitely is more than me. So he's also a syndicated blogger, podcaster, and a sought after guest expert featured in Entrepreneur and Inc. magazines. And with over 600 episodes, his show, The Bacon Podcast, of course, the Haram Podcast, is ranked as one of the top 100 marketing podcasts on iTunes. And it's also recognized by Inc. magazine as one of their top 35 business podcasts. So, ladies and gentlemen, just for tonight, Popcorn is going all haram, and it's going to be the good kind of haram with Brian the Bacon Basilico. Please welcome him.
I love the
What's
applause.
up,
That's
Brian?
awesome.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us. We're especially excited that you're haram because haram means good on this side. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah.
a wrong.
See,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I thought a harem was like a whole bunch of ladies were following me, like groupies. I thought that's what it was, but I guess it means bacon. I learned something today. It's awesome.
Yeah, basically, yeah, kind of thing. Okay, Brian, first things first, we need to address the bacon in the room. What is this bacon all about? Is it about that thing that us Muslims cannot eat, which is, this part of ham or the pig
Yeah,
or pork?
right. Yes.
And
No. Believe me,
yeah.
I've had after doing actually it's 700 episodes. I've only had one person
What?
come to my podcast and say I cannot do your podcast because I'm a vegan. And I've
Ooh.
had Muslims, Jews, Christians, atheists, you name it, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is bacon. This is my first book. It's not about you, it's about bacon. It's
Mhm.
relationship marketing in the social media world. And even though it looks like bacon and smells like bacon, it's veggie bacon, because bacon stands for Building Authentic Connections Online Networking. And so it's an acronym.
Oh, so it's got nothing to do with any meat or pork or whatever.
No,
So it's
no
actually
meat.
oh my God, it's a halal bacon.
Yeah, no meat has actually been, other than the guy who photoshopped this. There was some
Mm-hmm.
bacon, actually. There was some pig
Mm-hmm.
involved in that, but other than that,
Mm-hmm.
there's no pig. There
Oh
is no, yeah,
wow.
it's
Okay.
totally, yeah. I'm sure it'd be
Totally
fine.
That is
halal.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. You
That
know
is
You can
what?
read
You know
it.
brilliant.
what?
Yeah,
Can
you
I
can
just
read it,
say
and you're not going
something?
to break any laws. I guarantee you
Yeah,
that.
because that is so good. Because when I was like, okay, how old was I? 19. I was in boarding school, and this girl from Hong Kong, my boarding schoolmate, asked me, Nina, can you have a halal pig? And we just looked at her and we said no. But now I can have a halal bacon.
That's right.
There you
That's right.
go.
Mm-hmm.
I am. I'm always schooled by the universe. So yes, love it,
It's
love it, love it.
it's all good.
Okay, it's all good. Okay, can you tell us what your book is about? Because I think you have a series of books.
Well, I
Yeah,
have a bunch of books. I've done 5
yeah,
books,
and they're all
and
bacon, right?
well, there one
Except
is
one.
toilet paper, right? It's part of
Mm,
the bacon system. But the
the
first, okay,
bacon
system.
trilogy.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
bacon trilogy. Yeah, it's kind of like
yeah,
Star Wars about bacon. Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, there's 3CPO, which is the air fryer, and well, no, I think that would be R2D2. But okay,
Mhm,
so the first book I wrote in 2013, and it was going to be a how-to book on social media. All
mhm,
right, and like you said, I've been marketing since 1979.
mhm.
So that's when I started my marketing career. And so I've
Wow.
been up and down. I was actually doing content marketing in 1979, and everybody says, how the heck do you do content marketing in 1979? There's no internet, no
Mhm.
email, no none of that stuff. And I
Uh-huh.
said, it was easy. I had a recording studio in a basement. And what I did is I had an Atari 400 computer and a dot matrix printer. I printed out stories on how to use a recording studio, cut them up with the scissors, put it on an 11 by 17 sheet of paper, took it to a printer, and mailed it out to my clients and prospects. And that was content marketing in
Wow.
1979. Okay.
So it
So,
was snail mail.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay.
So if you look at today and you look at then, the only difference between the two things is how we deliver things. You're
Mm-hmm.
still creating content. You're talking about ebooks in the front. Ebook is just basically a series of blogs if you put it together that way. And it's so easy to write an ebook. You can actually write an ebook in a month. If you here's the way I do it, just to kind of give you a sense, and I'll jump back to what the bacon is. But
Mm-hmm.
what I do for my clients is we actually write the ebook in a way that's broken down into, say, 5 chapters. Okay. So there's when maybe it's 7. There's an intro, there's maybe 4 internal chapters and 2 or 3 at the end. And so then
Mm-hmm.
we take each one of those and we turn those into a blog post, and we put that blog up. And then we put a link back to the ebook to download the ebook. And so the ebook is actually there. It's a series of blogs that are written into a sequence. And so you have all of this different
Right.
asset content that you can use all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. So it's not about you, it's about bacon, was about relationship marketing. And the
Mm-hmm.
concept there is social media is, if you sit down and look at it, it's mostly social, but most people treat it like media. They want to put
Mm-hmm.
up videos, they want to put up pictures, they want to put up articles and all those other things. But social media without the social part is advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what relationship marketing is about. So when I started writing the book about how to use social media, it became obsolete within 3 weeks, because I'd write about Facebook and it changed. I wrote about LinkedIn and it changed. I wrote about Twitter and
Mm-hmm.
back then it was Pinterest and Blab and things that don't even
Mm-hmm.
exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I flip-flopped the book and turned it into a book about networking and relationships. And that's how the
Mm.
relationship marketing whole trilogy started. The second book that I did was something called Bacon Bits, and
Mm-hmm.
this is an example of what you were talking about with an ebook. Is for 365 days I wrote a single 50-word tip on networking. And then when I was done with that for 365 days, I had a virtual assistant go and pick the top 100 of them based on the interaction on the
Mm-hmm.
website, and then we
Mm-hmm.
basically combined it into a print book. And so that sells on Amazon. So that's taking
Mm-hmm.
content and repurposing it. Next book,
Oh, brilliant.
thank you.
Brilliant.
The
Love
next
it.
book is the Bacon System. And the Bacon System is built around the concept of no matter what business you're in, I'm a firm believer you should have your own website. because
Mhm.
you do not control what happens on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I don't know about you, Nina. I'm
Mhm.
sure you have posted some funky pictures of you out clubbing. But if Facebook's decides,
No, I
okay,
have videos. It's worse. Okay, but
there you
anyway.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you're putting up videos, you know, in Facebook, and all of a sudden Facebook looks at Nina, that's against our community standards. We're going to block you for a month. What happens to your business? Right? It goes
There
away.
you
That's it.
go.
Mhm.
Right?
Well,
So
that's what happened to Vine, right?
yeah,
It
right.
completely shut down, and like I don't know how many 100 million of people lost everything, right?
Yeah, it's happened on
Mm.
Facebook too. There was a company that was doing all of its advertising, its entire business on Facebook, and Facebook shut them down. They changed the rules, shut things down, and basically the company went bankrupt, and they had to fire 100 people
Oh my
for just that
goodness.
reason. So the thing is, social media, you do not own anything. It's cool,
Mm.
it's fun, it's great, but you cannot count on the fact that you're going to have an account tomorrow because you don't control it, you don't pay for it. There's
Mhm.
a I wish I could put up this picture, but again, it's the bacon theme. It's two
Mhm.
pigs standing in a bar, in a
Mhm.
barn, and one says, he says, "Hey man, this is great. Look at this. We get to stay here for free." And the other one says, "Yeah, and they feed us for free too." And it's two pigs, and we know what happens to pigs, you know, at least in the United
Mhm.
States. And but the tagline says, Facebook, if you're not paying for it, you're not the customer, you're the product being sold. And that's essentially what it
Mm.
boils down to. So so that's one of the reasons why you should
I'm
have your,
sorry, it just dawned on me, and I'm like,
yeah.
so we're
But I
all
think
We're
that's a
all
good.
pigs.
I
pigs.
think
We're
that's a
all
good
pigs.
realization. You know,
Yeah.
it's just to
Okay,
give us a
I
wake
need
up
that
call that we
photo of
don't
that
own LinkedIn.
pig.
Yeah, we're all pigs. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all pigs.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're haram.
Yeah, you're haram pigs. No, see now I'm not British, but pigs to me actually is a Pink Floyd song.
Ooh,
It's a
I thought
great
it was
pig.
an Aerosmith song.
Yeah, well,
No,
there
pigs.
might be an Aerosmith one too, but check out Pigs.
Mm,
Pigs, because
okay.
back in my youth, Pink Floyd came to Chicago, and we had this big open air stadium, and they basically had a flying pig throughout the entire time. It would just flew around the audience. Yeah, it was very cool.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I digress. We're getting back too deep into the pig thing, you know.
Okay, but
Um,
never mind. What about toilet paper then?
Well, let me finish the story on this one. I'll get
Okay.
to the toilet paper mat. So,
Hmm.
so bottom line is, a website is the cornerstone of what you should have. Every person, every business should have one. I've got
Hmm.
20. I've got one for my books. I've got
Hmm.
one for my speaking career, Brian Basilico.
Hmm.
You know, this
Hmm.
is my speaking gigs.
Oh yes, I kind of checked you out on a
Thank you.
few of
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
So, and you can, and when you put up the links, you'll see my link tree. You'll see all the different
I
things that I
mean,
have.
put up the links. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
linked.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, but it's but I have the Bacon podcast. I've got LI for Sales, which is leveraging LinkedIn. I've got brianloves.info, which is all the products that I use. So it's an affiliate
Hmm.
website. So I'm using all these different websites to talk to different audiences, because each one
Hmm.
has a different audience. My podcast audience, my
Mm.
business audience are slightly different. Even
Hmm.
even though they're aligned, you know,
Hmm.
they're still slightly different. My B2B page is kind of my marketing page, you know. So
Hmm.
that's one of the thing about that. Now, the second piece of the Bacon system is content. You have to create content. So we talked about the
Hmm.
blogs, the podcasts, the videos, all that kind of stuff. That content goes on your website. Because again, if you put it on Facebook and Facebook goes down, all your content goes away and nobody can find it. So you
Mm.
put the content on the website, and then you link the content back from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from Twitter, from Instagram, from, you know, Pinterest, from TikTok, whatever you want. And again, if you use YouTube, you do the same thing, right? YouTube owns your stuff. If YouTube shuts you down, I've had friends who have millions of views that get shut down by YouTube because they break the rules,
Oh,
right? And so
wow.
all their
Okay.
content goes away. So you want to get Vimeo, you know, you want to get something that
Mm.
you pay for. And
Hmm.
then the final piece is understanding the analytics. Do you know your numbers? Where's your traffic
Hmm.
coming from? If you put up a blog post and it drives a ton of traffic back to your website, you can measure that with Google Analytics. The only analytics you get in business and social media is if you buy ads, they'll give you really good analytics. Otherwise, they'll tease you into trying to buy ads.
Hmm.
They're in the ad selling business. They're not in the social
Hmm.
media business, right? So
Hmm.
that thing is the Bacon system. The Bacon system is having killer website, creating content, and then using that content to drive traffic back to the website, and then understanding how it works with analytics. Now, everything below that, social media, email marketing, video, all of those things become the distribution channels for the content that you created on your website, which now you can measure. So that's what the Bacon system is about.
Whoa, when did this book come out?
Oh,
I'm like, whoa, respect.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, the book came out in 2018, I think. 2017.
2018.
Yeah, 2017, 2018.
Wow. And you came up with this system, this
Yes.
bacon system,
Yeah,
like
this
even
is
before or that year?
yes, no. I've been using that in my business ever since I
Hmm.
started into social media. I started to understand the dynamics of how it worked. And so
Hmm.
that's really what I do for my clients. Now, toilet paper
Hmm.
math actually
Mm.
this was starting to be written right before the pandemic. So this actually was in process
Are you
before the
guided by
toilet
the
paper.
universe
I
or
am. Oh yeah.
something?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm in my Zen mode right now. Yeah.
So what's
They,
that one about? Toilet
this
paper
one, okay.
math.
So toilet paper math is actually about B2B marketing. And
Hmm.
okay, you guys love soccer over there in Malaysia, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have kids? And you guys have kids?
Nope.
Okay.
But
So
just pretend we do.
okay, let's say nieces and nephews. Have you ever been to a little kid soccer game?
Yes.
Okay, you know exactly what happens. The ball moves one way, and the entire mob of kids follow that ball, right? And then the ball
Hmm.
moves the
yep.
other way, and the entire mob of kids follow the ball. That's what
Hmm.
most B2B businesses do, is they follow the ball. They follow,
Hmm.
oh, the SEO is huge. Let's go follow the SEO thing. Oh, wait a minute,
Right. You're
YouTube is big.
right.
Let's go follow that thing. So it's just that's what B2B businesses do. And toilet
Uh-huh.
paper math is about during the toilet paper shortage. See, I don't know Malaysia, but I know, the United States. If you walk into a grocery store, when I was a kid, you had one choice. It was, maybe 3 or 4 different brands. They all came in 4 packs or single packs, and that was it. Now you walk into a grocery store, and they have all these things that say, 12 equals 32, 9 equals 64, and that is big on this package, right? What most people don't realize is toilet paper has actually shrunk. It used to be 4.5 inches squares years ago. Now it's 4.1 inches by 3.5 inches. They're putting more on a roll, and they're charging you a lot more for less toilet paper. But because they put this packaging on there, it makes you think like you're getting a lot more for less. And you don't even realize you're paying more for less. And that's essentially what
Right.
toilet paper math is about. Is a lot of people come in and say, okay, here's a realistic thing. Nina, I will get you 1 million visitors to your website tomorrow for $500. You want that? I'm asking you,
Why
Sure.
not? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
right?
why
Okay,
not?
there's
Yes.
only two
Uh-huh.
challenges with that. Number one, you have to change your language to Farsi and Russian, and none of those people will ever buy anything from you.
Got it. Got it. I understand. I love this.
That's
Okay.
toilet paper math. It's like you put a nice
Right.
package on it and say, I can get you a
Mhm.
million visitors, and people say that.
It's kind of like packaging, all the stuff that's being sold these days. It
Right.
looks like there's a lot, but actually, if you look at it and you calculate it, it's not. The
Yeah.
cost per gram or whatever is actually more.
It's
So you're
shrinking,
paying
right?
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make the bottles smaller. They put less in there. If you read the size, it used to be maybe
Hmm.
100 grams or 10 grams or whatever it is, and now it's like 8 grams or 5 grams.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they put more air in there, and they maybe make the bottle wider to make it look like it has more, but it's like
Uh-huh.
it's an hourglass
Hmm.
like this.
Hmm.
So it looks like the old bottle. It used to be like that. They put the hourglass in. Now they could put in
And
five
they say
ounces.
brand new packaging, and then you
Right,
get screwed.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So toilet paper math is about how B2B businesses follow the ball and how companies are constantly putting, packaging on stuff. But the bottom line with it is the bacon system that I talked about is very important for these B2B businesses. And in marketing,
Hmm.
I believe that every dollar should return $3 to $10. If you spend a
Mm.
dollar in marketing, you should get $3 back or $10 back. If you're not doing that, then stop doing it.
Oh my
Period.
God, this is so amazing because, I was just talking to, because there's a lot of people teaching LinkedIn. And then we hear that their students are being taught, okay, how to use a bot, how to send loads of messages, kind of thing.
Right.
And then send lots of texts, lots of emails. And then I'm like, but that's not marketing, that's spam,
Yeah, it's spam.
spamming people,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then everybody goes into it because they're following the ball.
Right.
But then they don't look at the supplier
Right.
and realizing that holy shit, you got screwed. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
And
No,
no,
we can
hey,
call the toilet paper from now on, Nina. That's what we're gonna do.
Toilet paper. Are you going
The
for a
toilet paper
toilet
marketing.
paper trainer or toilet paper course?
uh,
Yeah, gotta
yeah,
think about that. Yeah.
yeah, I'll think about it. But yeah, so
Oh,
do you guys have this?
oh,
Yeah. We
oh
used to have that
yeah.
a long time ago.
Okay, you get call. I don't know. Do you get calls for your car warranty all the time?
Oh
That's
yeah.
what we get in the United States. Is like, hi, we
Oh.
want to sell you extend your car warranty. all day long. That's
Oh,
all you get is, calls to this thing. It's spam, right?
yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing on social media. That's what a lot of people on LinkedIn do is they teach you how to spam. Email.
So basically, you sign up to learn how to spam.
Right.
Oh my God, that sounds horrible, but it is what it is,
It
right?
is what it is, right? Yeah.
Mm,
That's why relationship
mm,
marketing is so important, because if you sit
mm.
down and there's a whole big concept around that we can talk about too, is what
Okay,
relationship
got it.
marketing is and how it works.
Okay, got it. So, okay, before we go into the topic, you were the first 1,000 person on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
You're like a living legend. What was
Yeah.
it like before, and what is it like now? And I'll have a follow up question because I think you're like amazing. You
Thank
know?
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, back then it was so new that nobody knew what it was, and it's
Hmm.
like we had my kids introduced me to MySpace and Facebook, because they were in college when that came out.
Oh wow, I've not
Hmm.
heard that for a long time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I they said you need to check out this Facebook thing. And I think it was 2000, I don't remember what it was. But when I
2008, I think.
yeah, it was 2008.
Mm.
Thank you. Yeah. But in 2004, the social media world was starting to come together. I mean, that's when, MySpace was there and there was very few competitors, but somebody sent me an invite to LinkedIn and said, you need to
Mm.
check this out. It's a business to business networking thing. Now, keep in mind, my first book is about networking, right? So I said,
Hmm.
if this is business to business networking, this is pre Zoom and pre
Hmm.
pandemic.
Hmm.
Everybody,
Hmm.
I mean, let's face it, during the pandemic, what did everybody do? They joined as many networking groups online as they could and went into Zoom. It's the same kind of thing. Everybody was, they were following the ball, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
back then it was like, you're into networking, you need to, get into this network. So I had an invite, I joined it. And back then it was, it's like trying to figure this out. What the heck is this?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
didn't have business pages, you didn't have they didn't have groups, they didn't have anything back then. It was just basically you put up a picture and a profile like you do in anything nowadays. You just put up a picture
It
and a profile.
probably looked like MySpace.
It it didn't look a heck of a lot different than in MySpace or anything
It
at that
was
time.
different. It was hot. I
Yeah.
remember how horrible it was.
Yeah, there wasn't a
Yeah,
whole lot going on. Nobody was using it. Nobody was
Hmm.
connecting, So I
yeah.
mean, I went in, I connected with the number of people that I knew. And then, over time it started to evolve.
Mm.
And now it's, there's no question. It is the de facto business space to be in. There's nothing else like it, period.
Mm.
But
Hmm.
you also have to understand their model as well.
Hmm.
LinkedIn's model back then was, let's just get people in here, right? Let's just build,
Yes.
like most social networks, and Facebook was notorious for this. Is
Hmm.
Facebook got everybody in, and then they created business pages. They said, "Hey, get a business page. Hey, by the way, get 1,000 followers." And they gave you 1,000 followers, and every time you posted something on Facebook when it first started, your 1,000 people would see that. Everybody was a follower. Your business would see what you posted.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
anymore though.
No,
Yeah.
no. Now you're lucky. I mean, I have over 1,000
Mm.
followers. I've never grown it past that because I didn't see because what happened is you saw it went from 1,000 to 500 to 50 to 5 to
Hmm.
point 0.5 now. You post
Hmm.
something, it comes up and says, "Hey, you had 0.5 people." How does a half person interact with your stuff? And then they say, "But for only 19.95, you can get 100 people to see this. But wait, there's more. For 29.95, we'll double your offer." And it's like
Hmm.
it's the same thing. They're asking you to pay to
Right.
play. So LinkedIn,
Okay.
go go ahead.
Okay. So I think it's amazing that you were what in 1979 you were doing content marketing, and you
Mhm.
also the first guy to be on LinkedIn in 2004, and today you've got the bacon system and toilet paper math. How do you keep up to date with trends and still yeah? What's your advice on that? What's
Well, you
your
have
strategy?
the bottom. Okay, so I got a couple of strategies.
Mm,
Never. Here's the bottom line: the day you stop learning is the day you stop earning. Period. Amen. Okay.
mhm.
So one of the reasons I have a podcast is in not so much to sell stuff, is to interview people and learn the trends. So I interview the people that are making the trends happen.
Mhm.
That's the cool thing about. The other thing I do is I listen to. I don't know if you have Blinkist. Where you're at on the iPhone, but I love Blinkist because it's 15-minute books. And when I
Mhm.
walk my dog for a half hour, I can listen to two books at the same time. So I can follow the trends there. I can listen to podcasts. So
Mhm.
the key thing is the way you keep up on trends is you interview people and then you learn about stuff. It's like Linktree, the link I put there. Somebody taught me about that. And as soon as I found Linktree, somebody mentioned it on one of the podcasts. I went and said, oh my God, this is awesome. Put all of your links in one thing. And then I could put that in my email and I could put it on my social media profiles. Now, Facebook keeps telling me, I'm sorry, you're going against community standards. It's like, hey, whatever, Facebook, get off my lawn. But, that's what you do is you have to invest in learning. I mean, that's the key thing. Staying current. Staying current is a full-time job.
Yeah, you're right. And you said you have a couple of strategies?
Yeah, well, the two strategies are listening to podcasts, and then also my interviewing is the other one. That's the strategy of getting, so here's, we have something, and you may have it too, is Lunch Club. Do you have Lunch Club? Have you played with that?
Lunch Club? I think so. I've seen, but it's not that great for me.
It's international, and so what you do is you go on Lunch Club and you say, okay, I want to meet somebody 4:00 Malaysia time on a Tuesday afternoon. They will allow you to basically, it's like Tinder, like you were talking about,
but for business,
right? But they match you up with somebody, but you tell them what you want. Do you want to find a founder, an angel investor, an inventor, a musician, whatever? You tell them what you want to find, and they match you up, and you guys have a one-on-one over the internet. And I've not even interviewed, I just had conversations with people. I mean, I talked to a guy in Canada who went head-to-head with bookings.com and was spending $25 million a month in Google ads. I learned a lot from him. I found a guy that was doing data mining for Coca-Cola and a whole bunch of big companies, and I learned a bunch from him. So, I'm trying to find these people and learn from them. So there's another way to do it.
Okay. I mean,
watching you in this show, is learning, right?
Yeah. Watching you, interviewing you is learning. Definitely. That's one of the things I love about interviewing people. We get to meet so many amazing people like you.
That's why I do it too.
Yeah. Okay. So can you share with us, before you start marketing, what were you doing? Because you have such an amazing voice.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I, at 18 years old, I started a recording studio in my basement. Then I went and got a degree in electronics. And then I went to work. My goal was to be a musician. That's what I wanted to be. And I was never good enough. So if I couldn't be a musician, I wanted to repair amps on tour for bands. That's what I wanted to do. But what I ended up doing is actually getting a job at AT&T in video production. So I wired their studio and developed that. And I was doing video before video is what it is today. So we were shooting on tape, reel-to-reel tapes for video and stuff like that, and editing. So I learned how to shoot, how to edit, direct, won awards doing that. Left that job and opened up a commercial recording studio where we did jingles, we did radio commercials, audiobooks, and technology like interactive voice response for phone systems. Wow. And I worked with large corporations like ConAgra Foods, McDonald's, Motorola, big companies. And sold that company to another one, learned how to program CD-ROMs and do website development, went to work for Arthur Anderson and started working in their marketing department, and then opened up this company in 2001. So I've been doing this for 20 years. So I've had a wide variety of experience in media and marketing, hands-on. I mean, the point where I could program, I can design and set up a website in 10 minutes. But I hire people to do that for me now. I don't do it.
Right. Yeah, because what is it that you do today in your offering, and how do you work with your clients? Yeah, I think people would be interested to know.
Yeah, so my business is kind of like an anti-agency. It's kind of like an agency, but it's not. What I do is clients hire me to come in and set up a marketing strategy for them. And that marketing strategy usually is first understanding what assets they have, what they're doing, and basically anything that's not making them money, we pull away, and we try to pull in things that will make them money. We find
toilet paper math.
Exactly. Yeah. So we find measurable ways to do that. And then what we do is I use this interviewing skill to interview the owners of the company and pull the data. I call it sticking a USB cord in the back of their head. I suck the data out of their head. And at the same time, I'm having a writer listen to this, and they're going to write the content, whether it's for videos, whether it's for ebooks, blogs, webinars, all those kind of things. And then we create content And then we use that content, and the thing that we do is we actually distribute that content on social media channels, but we use their team to do it. So in other words, we're producing, let's say, an ebook, and then it's put on every single one of their salespeople's LinkedIn profiles, Facebook profiles, Instagram, wherever it is, and that information is distributed directly between the salesperson and their audience. And that's what we do, is we create this, relationship marketing based content development. And it's all based around what are the customers saying. So we're using the analytics from their website to see what people are getting to. And then we create content based on those trends so that we're always staying at the leading edge of what customers are thinking.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like, well, pretty much if you think about it, you're like the Matrix,
Oh yeah,
sucking
we are the
everybody. Yeah, that's
yeah,
brilliant.
we
I
are the
love it.
Matrix. Yeah, they're all in pods. All my clients are in
Yeah.
pods with those things in the
So
back of their head.
so all they need to ask is, all you need to ask is, do you want the red pill or the blue pill?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly it. Yes.
Love it, love it.
How
I
deep
love it
does the
because
rabbit hole go? That's the question.
yes. Okay, so before we go into the topic, let's talk about marketing. How has it changed? Has it really changed? How has it changed? Because everybody's going after the ball. What should they be going after if it's not the ball?
Nothing has changed.
Oh,
All the way
nothing
back,
has changed.
nothing has changed. The only thing that
Mhm.
is different, okay, when we talk about the change in marketing, nothing has changed. The concepts are still the same to when people are going door to door selling vacuums. you
Mhm.
know and that's what people do on LinkedIn, is they go door to door selling vacuums. They hey, connect with me. Then they knock on the door and say, hey, you don't know me, but can we spend 15 minutes, because I want to get to know about your business. What they're really saying is, I want to get in front of you so I can give you my pitch. That's what
Yeah.
people are doing.
Mhm.
They're doing door to door sales of vacuums. So the methodologies haven't changed. The technology is the only thing that's different, is how we deliver things. Back before
Mm.
back before we had the technology that we had, if you wanted to deliver a video, you had to send somebody a VHS, and they had to have a VHS player, right? Now
Mhm.
you can send somebody a GIF in an email. And if they click on that GIF, they get to a video. And if they click on that video, then it pixels them. And then they end up getting, an email drip campaign from your website. I mean, it's understanding the technology and how it works. But the bottom line is, do people want that message? Are they the right person for the right message? So the key
Mhm.
thing is what marketing really is about is questions. You ask questions and you answer
Mm.
them. And the other thing about marketing, and I heard you, talking about sales, what's with sales. Okay. I use the United States as analogies. And it is the House and the Senate. Okay. I don't know if you know American
Yeah.
politics or not, but the House and the Senate. Um, the House of Representatives generally represents, smaller groups of people with very specific needs. So a representative may be a farming community, and the next representative may be in the city, right? So, the farmers have one needs and the city has another. So the representatives are very close to their audiences, and they're pulling in information. So they're going through and they're trying to create and solve the problems, and they need to come together as an organization and say, okay, there are more farmers that have problems than people in the city, so let's do something about farming, right? And then
Mhm.
they create something in farming. Now the Senate is basically only 2 representatives per state, and they represent an entire state. So what they're doing is they're representing the entire state. They're not as drilled down, and they're making decisions. So you got the Senate doing something and the House of Representatives doing something. Okay, the House of Representatives is your sales team. The Senate is the marketing team. All right. So what's happening is the Senate's out there talking to people. The Senate is saying, okay, we see the trend in marketing. The ball moved that way. So we see TikTok is really big. So we're going to create these 1-minute TikTok videos, you, Mr. President, and you're going to be talking to all these people. And we're going to do these. And then we're going to measure that. And we're going to create a campaign around that. And the salespeople are out there talking and saying, you know what? Supply chains are so bad now, I can't get your product. What do I do? Right? The answer to that question is, if you can't deliver a product, what you say is, okay, if we can't deliver you product, we need to optimize what product you have in stock. Let us figure out a way to do that for you. We can come in
Mhm.
and do that. That's what the House of Representatives does, but the Senate is saying, we want you on TikTok doing things. So sales and marketing are very often disconnected,
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
House and the Senate, and hence why we get nothing done here.
Mm.
So in order for anything to happen, the House and the Senate have to come together, and they put together a bill, and that goes up to the president, and the president signs it, right? It's the same thing. A good organization, even a small business as an individual, your marketing and your sales need to be aligned in purpose. Marketing needs to ask questions and listen to people and find, or excuse me, well, they do. Marketing needs to ask questions and listen to people, and they need to talk to the salespeople and hear what information they are getting from their clients. So the marketing timely matches what they're hearing from the people they're selling to. That's the key to making all this work. So that's the difference is we have different technologies like Slack and Asana and Monday.com and all those tools to communicate faster and basically organize teams around that. But the core things have never changed.
Mm.
Brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant.
Love it.
I love
So,
this because
which I think will bring us to the next question, which is relationship marketing. Then, what does it mean? What is it not? Because when I was like talking, I saw your face because I was saying relationship marketing is about relationship.
Right.
Relationship marketing is about marketing because we forget that we build so much relationship. We're not asking for the sale.
Right.
So, what's your definition and what's your take on it? Whether it's relationship or marketing.
Okay, so relationships. So marketing is listening to other people and creating content to deliver to people. Relationship marketing is having a relationship with somebody and delivering messages that they want to hear and listening to them and then using that information as a back and forth. Relationship marketing boils down to, have you heard the concept Dunbar's number?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Dunbar is an anthropologist out of England, and the concept is that he believed that the average person can maintain 150 active relationships. And so,
Okay.
I always thought that was completely bunk, because I said, wait a minute, I've got 5,000 followers on Facebook, and I've got 5,000 followers on Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter. I've got 50,000 followers all over the world. That's not true. But when you sit down and you look at it, it's true that you can only maintain 150 solid relationships. This is based on genetics. And if gorillas are in a tribe in the wild, okay, if they see a gorilla's face that they recognize, their body reacts one way. But if they see a gorilla they don't, they all of a sudden get into that fight or flight mode, right? Right. And we do the same thing in our world. If we see a face that we recognize and know,
I'm trying to see who I want to scratch.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But the average person can maintain 150 quality relationships at any given time. So relationship marketing is about nurturing those relationships. And so if you can nurture those relationships, then you have the ability. It's not so much that you're going to sell to those 150 people. It's who those people know who need what you have. And if they're willing to listen to you because they know, like, and trust you, they become the people that amplify your messages. Now, in the case of my clients, imagine that if they have 10 salespeople. If each one of those 10 salespeople has 150 relationships and we put out content, that means we take that content and amplified it to 1,500. And that's what relationship marketing does. It's utilizing the relationship of each individual person to grow the sphere of influence.
Wow. Okay. So it's about networking.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 150 at one time, I think that's even
That's
150.
a
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot, but you can still recognize those people. If you think about the networking that you do, I mean, just think about the number.
What you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
It doesn't mean you have a deep personal relationship, like you're going to take them all out to dinner, but it does mean that you know their name. You maybe know about their kids. You maybe know their, where they're coming from, what they're selling. And relationship marketing is a two-way street, right? So if you go to a networking event and you have something go wrong with your car and you meet somebody that you know, like, and trust who does car repair, you're going to say, hey, something's wrong with my car. Can you take a look at it, right? Because you've already built up that know, like, and trust. And what I talk about with the know, like, and trust, and again, this is getting deep, but, you can get to know somebody. I know you now, right? I think we've learned to like each other at this point, right? So you've gotten to know me, I've gotten to like you. The trust factor is, do I trust you yet? Do you trust me yet? that usually takes a little longer. In B2B, trust takes 2.5 years on average.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it takes a long time because the bottom line is, and this is in toilet paper math, if I bring home the wrong toilet paper, okay, if I bring that home My
Uh-huh.
wife makes me sleep on the couch, right? But if
Mm-hmm.
I'm working for a big corporation and I buy the wrong toilet paper in bulk and ship it to 100 locations and it ends up being sandpaper and everybody complains, I end up
Mm-hmm.
sleeping on the street because I
Yeah.
get fired,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, there's something about the relationship side of things. It takes longer to build trust because every decision is somebody's livelihood. B2B is
Mm.
much more complex than consumer.
If
Because
that is the case, how do you close a business? We can't wait 2.5 years, right?
Well, no,
So,
it on a big business, it can take anywhere from 3 months to 3 years. I mean, but it's a long term game.
mm,
It's not something that you're not going to just, most people think that B2B business is you're going to call somebody up and say, hey, I have a widget. You need widgets. You want to buy my widgets? The only reason somebody would buy your widget at that time is because they can't get widgets from somebody they already know, like, and trust. They
mhm,
don't
Right.
buy on price as much as they buy on trust. Consumers will buy on price. You go to Amazon, you go to Alibaba, you can order anything and have it shipped to you and, return it, right? Or a lot
mhm,
of people order stuff. I mean, they're counting on the fact that people order stuff, don't use it, and throw it away. But
yeah,
in B2B business, people's jobs, an entire company profit lines are on they're on the line. So it takes a lot longer to get people to make those decisions because
that's
it
really
affects so many
interesting.
people.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, what is it that a lot of businesses are not getting about marketing and sales in this day and age?
They don't want to invest the time in relationships. That's what they're not getting. They're not willing to invest the time, the 2 years. Hey, I go speak at a conference, right? I bring my
Mm-hmm.
books, I sell my books in the back of the room, I go speak
Mm-hmm.
at a conference. You know how people hire me? They call me up 2 years later and say, hey, you remember me? You saw me in Atlanta when you spoke. I bought your
Mhm.
book. No, sorry. I'll say, yeah, I remember the conference. I don't remember specifically selling you the book. And they'll come back to me and say, I'm ready to work with you out of the blue.
Wow.
Yeah, and because they've been following the podcast and been reading the blogs, they've been,
Mm.
they've developed that know and like, and they're willing to say, okay, let's develop the trust. They're
Mm-hmm.
willing to put their relationship on the line with me to try and see if it's a good fit. So it takes
Mm-hmm.
time.
Right. Okay.
What's stopping them from building this relationship? I know it's
Yeah.
time and
Good
all that, but
question.
yeah,
What's
what's in the
stopping?
way? Is it? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in one sense, here's the bottom line. If they feel like you're coming in and all you're doing is trying to sell them something, that's usually the telltale sign. It's this, okay? It's people getting on the phone and calling, say, hey, I know you don't need this, but I've got a car one to you. Want one? Right? That's what if they feel like the only value you have to them is they're going to close the sale and get a commission, they don't want anything to do with you. But if you come in and listen to them and hear what they're doing and solve their problem, even if it's not the problem they're trying to solve, in my neighborhood, for example, the way you build trust is I post pictures of people that, repaired my deck or fixed my
Right.
car, or did my HVAC. And what that does is say, okay, this guy knows a lot of quality people. What happens is then people start contacting me and say, hey, Brian, do you know any good internal painters? Do you know anybody who mows lawns? Do you know any, they start to trust the fact that you have quality people. And the next
Mm.
thing you know, somebody came to me one day when I was walking my dog and said, hey, Brian, I've got this boating organization that needs help with what they do. Do you want to talk to them? And I said, yes. Well, the next thing you know, I've got a customer for 5 years that pays me every month from walking
Wow.
my dog and doing that. That's what it takes.
I love it. I think what you're trying to say is about authenticity as well, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if
Right.
you are a good reference point and a trustworthy person who recommends really good people who are trustworthy like you, then they will come to you for big ticket items as well, like
Exactly.
your
Or
business.
they'll recommend you to somebody, say, hey, I know
Yeah.
this guy in my neighborhood who does marketing for big business
Hmm.
and I see his stuff all the time. You might want to talk to Brian. That happens to me all the time.
Hmm.
It's somebody that I networked with 5 years ago who used to work for the company, whose wife still works at the company, came to me and said, hey, this one company is going to call you. You need to talk to them. They're interested in learning more about your services. That ended up being my biggest customer. That's somebody I networked with 5 years ago. I haven't spoken to in a long
Wow.
time.
Okay.
So that it's a long-term game that you've got to play.
Hmm.
I mean, we
Okay.
all want that instant gratification, but that's not how it
Yeah.
works.
Okay. So then I have a question. I can't be mad if somebody rejects me.
Right.
until 5 years later, and because they might come back 5 years later. Right?
Exactly. Well, the thing is,
Yeah,
you
okay.
need to in one of the things that I've learned in the B2B side, and this I got from Lunch Club, which I talked about before. I talked to a guy named Frank Agan, and he basically told me, I asked him, I said, what's happening in the world in the world of pandemics? And he says, here's the magic formula for B2B business. He said the companies that pay 45% of their time and attention on their current customers, communicating with their current customers, 25% on their past customers. Because what I mean by past customers, somebody was working at company A went bankrupt in the pandemic, or company A laid off a whole bunch of people because they couldn't afford them. Now they moved to company B. All right. So now they're at company B. If you stay in touch with your past customers, say, hey, Jim, how you doing? Or how's Susie? What's happening? Congrats on the new gig. How you doing? All this other stuff. They're going to come back and say, I love working with them at the last company. Maybe I can bring them into this company. So focusing on current and past customers, and 30% of the time prospecting are the companies that are most successful. The companies that did 80, 20, 60, 40 were the ones that had the hardest time during the pandemic. The one that were pushing for new customers harder, or spending not enough time trying to prospect. It's a mix of all of the above. So don't be, the bottom line is I have this thing called the 10-10-10. It's a relationship marketing tool. Every single day you get up and you do 10, 10, 10. 10 people, 10 minutes, 10 words. All right. The 10 people, you spend 1 minute each. All right. I go to you on Nina. I say, hey, Nina, how you doing? How can I help you? And I put that up on LinkedIn, or I wish you a happy birthday, or I send you an article, or I do something. But the bottom line is, how are you doing? How can I help you? And you just do that every single day. If you did that 5 people a day over the course of a month, all right, 5 times 5 is 25. You'd hit 100 people. If you did 10 people a day, you'd hit 200 people. Remember that magic number 150? All right. Out of that magic number 150, if 15 people come back and say, hey, thanks for the contact, thank you for the birthday, you're keeping yourself top of mind. So by doing that 10-10-10 every single day, you're magically talking to those 150 people and saying, how can I help you? You're drilling it into their head that you're there to serve them, and without putting a lot of energy into it.
Love it.
I love that. So basically, what you can do if you were a
Brian
number
did it
game guy,
again.
right? Brian, brilliant. So basically, 10 people a day, 10 minutes, 10 minutes,
Right, 1 minute each.
right? 1 minute each. There you go. 200 people in a month.
10 words.
10
How
words.
are
10
you
words.
doing? How can I help you?
You guys writing this down?
Yeah. I mean, wait. He needs that video. Come on.
I
The
have a
cat
video.
one.
It's sitting
No,
there.
no.
Oh,
no,
I need
no.
a cat
We have
video?
something for you. I mean,
Oh,
can you
thank
find
you.
it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're definitely going to find that. So
Okay,
that
this is
again,
for
guys,
you. We don't
let's
give
say
this
this
out
again,
a
okay?
lot.
Is this like a
So
cat
it's 10.
video award from YouTube or something like that?
No,
So it's gonna
no.
be
But
this.
this is for you.
The prophecy is true.
Do you like that? I can send
I
that
love
to
that.
you.
I love that. That's awesome.
That's for you.
You know
We've
what?
only-
It's brilliant because I've never thought that we've been telling our students to do that 10 people a day without realizing that this is the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, we want you
There you
back.
go.
You're just
We want you back.
amazing. Can we keep you? You're just so amazing. We love you.
Thank
Bacon
you.
guy. Yeah,
Thank
halal
you.
bacon. Halal. You are now halal vegan bacon. Okay.
That's fine. Vegan bacon is all good.
Okay. Cool. What are some relationship marketing strategies that spark sales? We probably spoke about it, but
Well,
you know.
I mean, the bottom line is to just do what I'm talking about. Be patient, you know. And the key thing is if you do the upfront work, what we were talking about, then if you post something that says, "Hey, we have a new offering," I have a new LinkedIn class that I'm doing. What people are going to say, this guy really understands it. I'm going to share this with my people. So the key thing is, there's usually the 80-20 rule. 80% should be personal, 20% can be a little bit about what you do. So, but consistency is the other major point that you have to get across. I have a system. All right. Imagine me having systems. I have theme days. All right. Marketing Monday, training Tuesday, working Wednesday, togetherness Thursday, flexible Friday. Marketing Monday, I put together my Bacon podcast, my expert interview, and my blog. And I send those out to my VAs. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they post that. Training Tuesday is when I do my masterminds. All right. Working Wednesday is the day that I put together to work on my client stuff and my business. It doesn't mean I'm not doing all things every single day, but I have a focus of Wednesday is the day that I'm going to be working the hardest. Okay, Thursday, Togetherness Thursday is usually about networking. It's getting out physical networking when you can, online networking when you're not. And Flexible Friday, it depends. You know, in Chicago in the summertime, it's beautiful. I go golfing. In the wintertime, I might do a webinar, or I might just do more of the 10-10-10 and just get on the phone with people. You know, it's completely up to me. If I've got a project coming up, I can do some work that day. And so by doing that, it creates a week that is already predefined. So every single week, I do the same stuff. I have every morning, I do a quote of the day. Every night, I do a caption contest on Facebook. The quote of the day goes on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter every single day. I have a something I call baconisms, which are simple little quotes. Okay, you talked about before, you know, authenticity. You are who you are when you're driving in your car. Every doctor needs a doctor. Every mentor needs a mentor. Every coach needs a coach. These are phrases that I use in my presentations. Those are created into awareness graphics, and those are put up on LinkedIn every single day. And then I have my podcast. My Monday is my interview. My regular podcast. Tuesday is my blog. Wednesday is my expert interview. And then social media are shared a day afterwards on each one of those. Every single week, I do the same thing. All of that stuff takes me a whopping 4 hours to do because it's so systematized.
Wow. Okay. That's brilliant. Love it. Love it.
So
Love it.
that's the key with relationship marketing is you have to be consistent in what you do.
Okay. I mean,
So
time check. We've got 4 minutes left.
I do have one more question. So we were talking about the toilet rolls now, right? Like
Yep.
people are just following. What are some of the toilet roll activities that you notice that's happening now? If you can basically elaborate, it's not really working, but people are
Right.
still doing it.
Well, I mean, the biggest one is the talking head video. That's the one that everybody's doing that nobody's following. You know, so it's the people that pull up their iPhone and say, "Hey, it's Brian. You know, the sky's blue today, and let me give you my 3-minute tip on how you can live the life that I'm living." Right? You know, it's those talking head videos. I mean, it's doing the same thing on Clubhouse and everything else. You know, people jumping on Clubhouse and talking about themselves, sitting up on stage answering questions when really all they're doing is promoting their products. I mean, people are following that, but they're getting zero results from it. I mean, some people are, some people aren't, but that talking head stuff is, you know, the bottom line is you need to give somebody something of value, you know. Now, people find value in that. If your audience does, doing it in a group is very different than doing it in open LinkedIn. You know, so doing it in a Facebook group is very, very different. You've got a closed group of people who want to hear from you every single day. That's different. Putting it up in the general population is completely different. So
Wow,
they're
okay.
still doing those kind of things. You know, key thing is know your audience. You're much better. I would much rather know 10 people who are going to spend 10 minutes with me than 10 million people are going to spend 10 seconds. You know, that's the key thing.
Love it. Love it. So it's not about the number. It's about, you know, having the right audience, one,
Right.
the targeted audience, and
Right.
the permission to speak
Right.
to them.
I'm sure
Right?
you've heard it. The riches are in the niches, right? You know, snap.
Right.
That's what it
Right.
boils down to. The niche is your people.
Right. I need your head. I need your brain on this.
Brains.
Your view on people who are focusing too much on the views. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I mean, I basically said it before. I can get you 1 million visitors to your website for $500. You know, it's going to be the wrong people, though, right? It's going to be Russian and Farsi, and they're never going to buy from you. So views, you know, are they? Here's a question: are you measuring what actions are being taken, not how many views you get? That's the only thing that matters. Because the bottom line with my clients is,
Love it.
it doesn't matter how many people visit their website; it's how many people put their information into a contact form that the salesperson can talk to them. How many people want to have a conversation? Because the conversation is where the sales happen. All sales happen in one of three ways. It happens on a phone call, an email, or in person. And in today's methodology, add Zoom in there as well. That's the only way it happens. There isn't a business in the history of the world that's ever bought anything that wasn't on autopilot. You know, businesses don't do business with other businesses. People do business with people. So the whole thing is if you're not generating conversations, I don't care how many views you got, you're not getting action.
Okay. I love it. Exactly. The cat video again, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just one round of rapid fire, and then
Yeah,
we can
fire
end.
away.
I mean,
Yeah.
yep. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
let's do that.
Okay, okay. So what's three tips that you would advise businesses on how to grow their sales like crazy for 2021 and beyond?
Ask the right questions and answer them personally, and then make sure that if you get a group of questions, and create content around that group of questions. If you keep hearing the same question over and over, that means that more people are asking that question. You need to let people know that you know what you're talking about.
Wow, love that. Amazing. What's next for you to end it off? Last question.
Next for me is moving to a new city.
Ooh, where? How
Probably
come?
Raleigh, North Carolina, just because of the weather. I can do my business from anywhere. It doesn't matter. I could do it from
Oh
Sri Lanka if I
yeah.
wanted to, but I just
Mm-hmm.
want to move to a nicer climate because Chicago gets cold in the winter and I'm sick of it. And I
Okay,
like to play
okay.
golf. It's hard to play golf in the snow.
Okay, I watch a lot of HGTV, so I see all this shows, moving,
Yep.
moving kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
so
Yep.
love it, love it, love it. I mean, anything else before we
No,
go?
that's it. Just you follow me on Linktree. You've got every link wherever you want to follow me.
Mhm.
You've got a link for it.
Oh, and
Yeah.
where can everybody get your book? Basically on Amazon,
It's
right?
all on Amazon. Just look up Brian Basilico. There's only one of me.
Mm-hmm.
Just look up Basilico and you'll find it. And all the
Right.
books are there.
And also
I'm
on
gonna
your
get your
link
book.
tree, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the whole set, the trilogy plus one because it's a
Yes.
phology,
Yeah,
right?
and there's a workbook for the first book too. That's number 5. So
Ooh, okay. Whatever logy that is.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. I think it's a syncology if it's Spanish. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
syncology.
so.
Yeah,
Syncology. Okay, cool.
yeah. It's in
Thank you
Cinco de
so
Mayo.
much. Cinco de Mayo. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Okay. Well, Brian, thank you so much. Today has been so informative. I mean,
Yeah, we gotta. I, I
what's
think we
your
gotta
biggest
find a way
takeaway?
to bring Brian back. So my biggest takeaway for today, there's a few.
Mhm.
The 10 10 10, definitely that's boom. All right.
Yeah, that's
I
like
like the one where
amazing.
Brian was saying about 80% personal and 20% is what you
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
do. I think
Yep.
that's very
Mhm.
powerful. Yeah.
I love the whole 5-day thing that you said. Like a theme schedule, so it's easy.
Yep.
For people to
Mm-hmm.
think. Guys, if you're tuning in, what are your biggest takeaways from today? Let us know in the comment section. But everything, and I have the greatest respect for you because
Thank you.
you've been doing
Yeah.
content marketing since 1979. You're at the top of your game. You're doing webinar as well, right?
Yeah.
Which is the latest thing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And things
2
have not
podcasts a week.
changed. Yeah,
Huh?
it's just
2 podcasts a week.
Yep.
Webinar.
Number
yeah,
712
live
Yeah.
just came
shows.
out. Yep.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. This has been so insightful. We definitely want to see you maybe next year. We can talk
Sure.
about something else, or if you have anything new. There's a continuation to the
There's
toilet paper series.
always things to talk about. Yeah. Because
Right?
Lord
Yeah.
knows, you know what? You wake up tomorrow, LinkedIn's going to be different. So
Okay, the bacon breakdown. That's Viv. Yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, Brian. So definitely, if you have anything or if you're bored, just drop us a message. We want to hear from you anytime. Yeah,
Mhm.
we love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's been such an
Thank you,
honor.
Brian.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Enjoy.
so thank you.
We'll
Okay,
see you
so that's
again.
yes, thank you. We're gonna say goodbye now because I promised you 9:30 your time, which is 8:30, so we're a bit off. But thank you so much. We got so much from today. Definitely keep in touch. We want to hear from you and see how well you guys are doing over there. And if
Let's
you're ever
connect
in
on
town,
LinkedIn.
yeah, definitely. You guys, please make sure you connect with Brian the Bacon Basilico and add him on LinkedIn and Linktree as well, so you can get all his stuff. Yeah, can do.
I
Yep.
look
All
forward
right.
to speaking in Sri Lanka and meeting you in person someday soon.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Bye, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so guys, I hope you had such an insightful session because I did. Make sure you follow him on social media. What's happening the rest of the month? We're going to take a 2 weeks break. But however, on Monday, we're going to be on the Facebook group Authority on LinkedIn, and we're going to be covering.
Yep.
Do we have the poster
We
there?
have that. So we still have our Monday night session continuously going on, right? But we are taking a break from Just Langa for a while. and then we'll be back stronger.
But if you
So I
miss
think
us,
that
we're going to be on the Authority on LinkedIn Facebook group. 3 content strategies to amplify your influence. So don't miss us too much. See you on the Facebook group. But yes,
Yep.
thank you so much for your time. We hope you had such an epic session. We did. We're like poof, poof, like so many cats going poof, everywhere. We hope you learned something. And if you know someone who's going to really appreciate this video and the insights from today's show, please share it out. Please tag them. Give us some like, and while you're there, give us lots of love, kind of thing, and let us know who you want us to talk to. If not, we will see you in 2 weeks on 14th October, which is my dad's birthday. And make sure you follow us on all social media, Popcorn Fest, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram,
yeah,
and
follow
on
us, guys.
LinkedIn as
Follow us.
well.
Come and join us. Come and join us.
Yeah. So that's all the
Okay.
time we have for today. So I'm Nina signing off, and this is
This is just Langa. You've just been Popcorn. We'll see you again. Bye.